Welcome, Army fans. This is Joe Iacano with GoBlackKnights.com, along with Army sophomore linebacker Jaquavious Moss. Jaquavious, we've heard a lot about the competition at inside linebacker. You guys having to replace a lot of productivity that graduated last year, and Andon Thomas and Caleb Fortner. We've already spoken with Bryson Banks and Kai Wolfuck. How have the last couple weeks of practice gone for you? How's your learning curve? How did you do you think, in the scrimmage Saturday when you got some live reps against the ones on offense?
Yeah, a lot of people saying there's a lot of competition in the room. It's very fun to come out here and compete with the guys, you know, making each other get better every day. And, it's just been fun to compete every day.
Good stuff. And, could you give us like an overall assessment of where you think the linebacker room is, right? I think it's one of the big questions on the minds of a lot of Army supporters right now. A lot of young guys at that position, a lot of unknowns. We've talked with Coach Dixon about the linebacker position a lot, and it's a really crucial position in his defense and the way things operate. When the linebackers are doing well, typically the defense is doing well. So, how do you think the team's performing so far at the linebacker position?
I believe we're doing pretty good. We're young, talented linebackers, so we just got to get that feeling of the game, get that experience down, and we just got to trust the coaches to put us in a position to win.
And Jaquavious, what do you think? If I were to ask you, there's a week and a half basically till opening day. Hopefully at this point you feel pretty confident, pretty ready to go on day one against Bryant next Saturday. But if I were to ask you, what's the one thing you really want to focus on and improve over the next 10 days? What would that be?
I really just want to focus on, just doing whatever I can do to help the team win next Saturday. It's just simple as that. Like any small thing I can do to help the team win.
Good. And we know, the linebacker position, it's not only really physical, you have to go up against offensive linemen, backs that are trying to block you. You have to be able to make reads. It's, one of the toughest positions on the field for sure, physically, but it's also really tough mentally. And how has your mental prep been, being able to read blocks, read certain keys in the offense? To be able to make sure that you're in the right position. And as Army's defensive guys love to say, that you're doing your 111th and filling that role.
Yeah, I would just say, that's just trusting the coaches, they tell you what to do before the play even starts, and you just got to trust them.
Good stuff. And talk a little bit about that, your relationship with Coach Juice and how that's been and, what that's been like for you.
Yeah, so Coach Juice recruited me out of high school. So I've been with him known him for about 3 years now. And, that goes a long way in this, trust thing. So, I trust him to put me in a position to win, put this team and linebacker group in a position to win as well. So I just trust him.
Good. And what do you feel like personally, with the potential to being able to play your first like serious live reps in a major D1 college game coming up? You were in high school, you were at the prep school, you played some special teams, but this is your first opportunity to really make an impact on defense. Would you say you're more excited, nervous, prepared? What kind of, just give us a little background on kind of what your feelings and emotions are at this point?
Yeah, it's definitely, I'll say a little bit of both, like excited, nervous, all the emotions. But at the end of the day, it's just a game of football, I've been playing this game for a long time and, just trusting on my teammates, my coaches to put me in the right position.
Yeah, and I know, trust is one of the core key values of the Army football team, especially on defense, making sure you guys all work together to be in the right positions and make the right plays defensively. Stephen Nadozi in the back of the defense, getting you guys lined up and everything, making sure you're in the right place. talk about what that trust factor feels like to you on the 2026 version of the Army defense. And because that's not something that's, it's a cute word, but it's not something that can be built overnight. It's something that takes time and effort and you guys working together as a team. How good is the trust factor on this defense? And how much do you guys trust each other to do the right thing so that nobody's out there trying to make the hero play, which is typically when things go bad?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll say we know we build trust every day. It's increasing every day. It's a new unit every year, so you have to build that new trust. And we just do our 111s, like you said, and making sure we are in the right spot, not trying to overdo things, so everybody can trust each other.
Okay. And my last question is a two-part question, really. You guys have had a couple inter-squad scrimmages going against the Army offense, which, of course, is really good prep for your CIC games, even though, all three of the academies run a little bit of a different variation of the option, but it's a good prep defending the option. First of all, how has that gone for you? And then my follow-up question to that is how comfortable do you feel being ready to defend the kind of spread pass happy offenses that you're going to see in the American Conference?
Yeah, it's been an adjustment, adjusting to CIC. You know, been an adjustment, CIC. It's a lot of things going on, a lot of moving parts. So you just gotta, like I said earlier, trust your coaches, key what they tell you to key, and it will take you to the ball. And we feel very prepared, as a team, as a coaching staff. They always put us in the right spot to succeed and be in the best position that we can possibly be in.
Good stuff. Jaquavious, thanks for your time tonight. Really appreciate it. Go Army, beat Navy, and beat Bryant.